Let's go to Lynn in Portland, Oregon. What's up, Lynn?
Hi, Dr. John. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Of course. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Well, okay. Two very important pieces of information you need to know. I forgot to put one of them in my question initially. I have borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
And I also have a traumatic brain injury.
TBI. What happened?
I got hit by a car when I was 17.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Is the effects were the effects neurological? Are they ongoing?
Yes, it's permanent. It was
Okay.
originally labeled as severe. I think when I got a little older, they bumped it down to moderate. But I do struggle with memory loss. My frontal lobe was pretty badly damaged. So was my temporal lobe. So memory, decision making, executive functioning in general is not the best.
You are an impulsive young lady, aren't you?
Sometimes, yes.
I gotta do it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so were you diagnosed with borderline before this, or has this been a result of the traumatic brain injury?
So here's the funny thing. I was diagnosed at 6 with bipolar 2, which they should not have done. I was too young.
I was going to say, good Lord. Good grief.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And I ended up going to the mental hospital back in 2020, and that's when they realized, just so you know, you have borderline personality disorder, and whoever diagnosed you with bipolar did not do their research.
Yeah. There's so many things here. So many things. So let's go back. So you had a pretty chaotic childhood?
Kind of. My dad and my grandmother died when I was pretty young, and they were at 3 months apart. Me and my brother were pretty young. I just started middle school.
Okay, hold on.
Just started.
Hold on. I just asked, did you have a pretty chaotic childhood? And you said kind of. My grandma and my dad died as I was entering middle school. So let's just stop there. You had a very chaotic childhood.
Mm-hmm.
A painful, traumatic childhood. Okay. Can we sit on that for 1 second?
Yeah.
It was hard, huh?
It was. Yeah.
It is. Fair?
Yeah. That is fair.
What was your dad's name?
Chris.
Do you miss him?
What's that?
Do you miss him?
Oh, every day.
There you go. Okay. So I don't want you to gloss over it. I want us to, as uncomfortable as it is, let's own reality. Okay. It was hard. And then my guess is, your mom struggled a lot, huh?
Oh yeah. 'Cause my grandmother, that was her mom. My mom was never the same after my grandmother died.
Yeah. Or her husband, right?
Well, they were divorced. But
Good grief. Was your childhood chaotic? Kinda. I came from a divorced home, and then my dad. Good night. So yes. I bet your ACEs. What's your ACEs score? Have you ever taken that?
I've taken what?
Your ACEs score?
No, I don't even know what that is.
It's a 10-question questionnaire. It's the Adverse Childhood Experiences. I want you to take it when we get off. My guess is, just listening to you, yours will be a 6 or a 7. Your body has been struggling to find its place in space since you were very, very little. Fair?
Yeah.
And I bet as a child, you shouldered a lot of, I guarantee you did, because just how you answered the first question, that whether you were wondering why they got divorced, why daddy chose to leave, why mommy kicked him out, what happened to dad, why did grandma die, like all that as a young kid, you were trying to figure out what you did to make some of those things happen, or what role you played in some of those things. Fair?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. So then you have this traumatic brain injury. And what happened? Were you driving another car? Were you walking across the road? What happened?
I was crossing the street, and I have to say it partially was my fault, simply on the fact that I was jaywalking, and I crossed, it was a 4-lane road, and I got to the last lane, and I got hit by somebody. I went flying over their windshield, and it almost killed me.
Yikes, man. I'm glad you're all right. And so what took you to to a psych hospital in 2020?
I was living with somebody, my cousin, and we were drinking a lot. I mean, I'm talking multiple bottles a day.
Mhm.
And it got to the point where we were just enabling each other. And one day I just couldn't take it anymore. And I was just in a very dark headspace. And I realized I can't do this anymore, because if I don't go get help, I'm going to slit my throat, or I'm going to do something. I don't know what, but I need help. And I went twice that summer. For both a 3-day stay each time, voluntary.
Mhm.
Well, I chose to go, so I could leave whenever I wanted. I kind of wish I would have stayed a little longer at the time, because I had the means to do so. Can't say I have that now, but
Okay.
even now I think about going back sometimes.
Mhm. Are you still actively suicidal?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some days are better than others. It kind of depends on, am I taking my meds? Am I in my routine?
Mhm.
Little things like that do make a big difference. But
Okay.
some days it just comes on and I'm not even prepared to feel
Yeah.
crappy. It just happens.
Yeah. It's really important to me that you call somebody after this and you get checked in. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just because I love you. And I want you to be all right. Okay.
Okay.
Do you promise that you'll do that?
I swear.
Okay. So how can I help you right now?
Well, I have gotten to this point where I've been a bit out of control. And by that, I mean, I've been getting more aggressive towards my partner. I've been yelling and screaming and calling him names and getting in his face, and just not been a very nice person to him. And it's affecting our relationship pretty badly.
Mhm.
And I just don't want to be like that anymore.
Yeah.
It seems to be a common trend when I live with somebody. Some conflict happens and then we're fighting and yelling and screaming, but I'm usually the one who's fighting and yelling and screaming
Right.
first.
Well, and that's one of the cornerstones of borderline, which makes it so hard, is this sense that you feel everything 100x what everybody around you is feeling. So when you meet somebody for the first time and you kind of have like, man, I think she's pretty good looking, man, and I kind of like her. You freaking love you. I love you. I'll sleep with you right now. And it's right. And then when it's like a disagreement, like, God, that's annoying. You're like, I'm going to burn you to the ground, right? I'm going to kill you and your family. And so it's this, am I right?
Yes.
It's 1,000.
That's pretty spot on.
It's 1,000x for somebody with borderline. And that's what makes it so hard is somebody who wants to heal. Now, I want to hold a big caveat here. You have a traumatic brain injury. If you've got permanent damage to parts of your brain, this may be something that you wrestle with for the rest of your life. And that's okay. That's just part of it, right? I had a knee surgery. Like, I'm not going to go play basketball anymore. And I loved playing pickup basketball. I'm just not going to do it anymore. I had to grieve that. It's a bummer. Now, is that the same thing as like a hippocampal injury or frontal lobe injury? No, you'll have more stuff to deal with, but it's just the cards you were dealt, and let's roll with it, right? And so I hope you hear I'm speaking with that light of a, yeah, this is the cards I got, right? And so I'm going to roll with that. I'm not going to go to war against those cards, because all that does is make me and everybody around me miserable. The challenge for somebody with borderline is I have to choose to feel less intensely. I have to choose to begin to parse through our feelings, and it feels so good to be in love. And it feels so good to be enraged. Those are drugs, right? And you have to choose to like get off those drugs. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
It's so frustrating. Have you been through rounds of DBT, dialectical behavior therapy?
A little bit.
Okay.
My current therapist, who I recently got switched to, he is
hey, hold on.
certified.
Don't be a borderline switcher. Every therapist knows that when you get somebody and they sit down and they go, you're the best therapist I've ever had in my life. My last 7 therapists, they all sucked. They were the worst and whatever. Everyone knows, well, looks like we got a borderline here, and you just got to hang on for the ride until you turn on them. How many have you been through?
Me?
Yes.
Not very many. I have a pretty good relationships with my therapist. It always just came down to my last two therapists had different jobs or got different jobs and they had to leave. It was never
good.
that.
Okay. You just
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were burning through them. All right. I take
Oh,
back what I just said about
not
you.
at all.
All right. All right. I was wrong. You were right. Way to go. So, you got a new therapist and you like him. And tell me more.
He's certified. Like he knows how to do DBT, and
Okay.
he does DBT groups at my doctor's office, who hold a lot less intensive of a program compared to like the Portland DBT Institute.
Okay.
But on our last visit, he told me that I should find a way to make some space for a more inpatient, I don't know if it's inpatient or outpatient, but a more intensive program.
Yep.
Because he's worried about me. He's worried about my impulsivities and my just all in all my out of control behavior. We've talked a lot about it. We've talked a lot about the yelling and the screaming and the name calling and just the outright just piss poor behavior I've been showing lately. And
Are you self-harming?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't like cut or burn myself or do any of that stuff. But I suppose I self-harm in the sense of like I don't really dig into my hobbies like I should. I just watch TV a lot or do a lot of monotonous activities because it's all I feel like I have time for or the energy for.
Why don't you think Lynn deserves peace?
I've been around chaos my whole life.
Your whole life.
It's hard to feel like I can have some quiet for a change.
Yeah. Because when chaos is your drug, peace feels very, very stressful.
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
And it's learning, how do I learn how, this is something you have to practice over time. That's what DBT is. You're going to have to practice feeling enraged and letting it run through you. And then going, okay, what's the reality here? This guy loves me. He's not going anywhere. I am enraged. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go for a walk. And that sounds bananas to you right now because what you want to do is hit him as hard as you can. And it's a choice that I want my life to be more peaceful, and I'm going to have to practice it. I'm going to have to learn it because I've never even seen it. I don't even know what that. I can say peace all day long. You're like, okay. It's like trying to explain a dinosaur to somebody who's never seen one. Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what you're talking about. And so you're going to have to decide Lynn is worth a less electrified life. And I need you to hear me say, I think you're worth that. Your therapist thinks you're worth that. And the crummy thing about being an adult and caring about people is we can't make you do that. You have to choose.
That's true, yeah.
And what I'll tell you is you have exceeded your capacity to handle this by yourself.
Not in those words, but you're not the first person to tell me that. Or at least people around me are aware that I'm at a heightened state.
Okay.
And that I'm struggling.
Yes. Call today.
I feel bad, though. My family doesn't always know how to help me.
I know.
But I always try to tell people, like, I'm not expecting people to, like, have solutions for me. All I ask is that you sit with me while I'm going through it. And I feel like a lot of people have figured that out, but I feel like there's some people in my life that haven't quite picked up on that yet.
Here's the hard thing. They get to choose that.
Mm-hmm.
They get to choose that. And sometimes our rage and our lashing out and our yelling and screaming is a way we can buffer sadness because our bodies don't know how to feel sad. Because last time we felt sad, Dad moved out. And last time we felt sad, Grandma died. And last time we felt sad, Dad passed away. And last time we felt sad, Mom was just checked out, a zombie. And so your body's created some really powerful strategies for not being sad.
I do tend to fight it a lot. That feeling. Yeah. Try to numb it out with something else sometimes.
It's a black hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can't go down that hole alone. I need you to hear me. I need you to promise me you will call somebody today.
I will.
No, say, I love Lynn enough that I will call somebody and get help today.
I love Lynn enough that I will call somebody today when I get off the phone.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. What you're about to embark on is going to be hard, and it's going to be something you're going to have to grind through a little bit, and you're going to have to be brave. And I'm really, really proud of you.
I appreciate that, Dr. John.
Is it cool?
Really cool.
Are you going to hang up and be like, that guy's the worst podcaster ever? Because that'd be a very borderline thing to do.
God, no. No, I was surprised you guys even picked my question. I honestly thought it was going to get lost in a sea of 1,000 questions. Honestly, I'm quite honored.
No,
You're really good at what you do.
I'm honored that you trusted me. I have a deep heart for folks with borderline because it's a tough road to hoe. And the thing that you need more than anything is peace in relationships. And the hardest thing in the world to come by is peace in relationships. And it's hard to be in a relationship with somebody with borderline. It's hard. It's hard to love somebody that is so back and forth all the time, right? And you know that. And it's hard to be so deeply in love and to get hit in the face, or to be told, I can't breathe without you. That's how much I love you. And then 30 minutes later, it's like, I hate you, right? It's hard. Yet it is so powerful. And so I've got a special place in my heart for folks who are struggling with this. And my oldest friend on planet Earth is a TBI survivor, a traumatic brain injury survivor. And so I've got a heart for that. So I'm grateful for you for your trust. And I'm more so than that, I'm really grateful that you're going to call today and get somebody that's going to walk alongside you, get a whole team. It's inpatient time, and we're going to go spend some time getting some rest and getting the help that we need. I'm grateful for you, Lynn.